A gentleman yields back. The gentlewoman from Texas, Ms. Garcia, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for all the witnesses for joining us today. I'm glad we got to sneak this hearing in before the end of the year. For a second there, I was worried we would go through the whole year without hearing from our regulators, so welcome. Similarly, this committee has not yet had the opportunity to hear from the acting director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, despite the statutorily mandated semi-annual report to Congress. So since I can't ask Director Vogt, I will ask Vice Chair Bowman, in the absence of the CFPB, do you know if anyone at all, is supervising and examining the largest banks in the nation for compliance with federal consumer protection laws?
Well, thank you for that question. I too value the importance of consumer compliance, regulation and enforcement and supervision. I oversaw that capability at the Federal Reserve for the first 6 years that I was on the board. We do have a responsibility at the Federal Reserve for
The question is, do you know of anyone that's actually doing it?
We are at the Federal Reserve. We have responsibilities for a narrow set of consumer compliance regulations for all sizes of institutions that are state member banks.
Are you aware of anyone else that has taken on the role of doing this?
I believe that the other regulators have the responsibility in that narrow context as well.
So, Mr. Gould, is that true?
Thank you for the question, Congresswoman. The OCC's approach to consumer protection has not changed, but as you know, under the Dodd-Frank Act and specifically Title X, the Consumer Financial Protection Act, the CFPB has certain exclusive authorities, such as supervision authority, for banks with more than $10 billion in assets.
So, but the question was, do you know if anyone that is actually doing the work of supervising and examining the largest banks?
Again, Congresswoman, the OCC's approach to consumer protection has not changed, so we continue to have enforcement authority, but we do not have supervision authority because Congress stripped us of having supervision authority in Dodd-Frank.
And Mr. Hutman?
Just to make sure I get this right, you mind repeating what you're asking?
I'll repeat the question. Since I can't ask Director Vogt, in the absence of the CFPB, do you know if anyone is supervising and examining the largest banks in the nation for compliance with federal consumer protection laws? And in response, Ms. Bowman said that they had some supervisory review and that all the others do, which is why I'm asking each one of you now.
I got you. All right, yeah. I would have got it right the first time, but I'm glad you repeated that. Less than half of 1% of credit unions are over the 10 billion threshold. Out of 4,300, I believe there are about 20 that the CFPB was on site. So all things considered, what the CFPB does or does not do is less of an issue for credit unions, just given their size. But we are continuing to enforce the law.
Then your answer is no.
I mean, are we examining that?
So you're not looking at it because it's way above the threshold that credit unions.
My point is that less than half of 1% of credit unions were examined by the CFPB in the first place. I'm just trying to get my hands around the scale of the issue here, but we are certainly enforcing
It's all right, then I'll move on, Mr.
every
Hill.
consumer law.
Similar to my colleagues, we do have authority over certain consumer protection laws for the largest institutions that we supervise, and so we continue to fulfill those statutory obligations.
But you're not aware of anyone else has taken the role that CFPB specifically had?
That's correct.
All right. So then I'll move on. Earlier this year, the agency's president state jointly issued a proposal to rescind the Community Reinvestment Act, the CRA. Because of ongoing legal challenges, the agencies are applying the 1995 regulations to the banks today. It is now 2025. 30 years have passed, and with it came innovations and changes to the banking industry. Acting Chair Hill, do you think that the 1995 regulations are well suited to take into account modern online and mobile banking?
I think there are a number of reasons why the 1995 rule has challenges with it. We currently have issued a proposal.
So your answer is no?
I think modernizing CRA is something that is worth considering doing. I voted against the 2023 rule and thought it had a lot of flaws, and so I think...
So do you have any plans now to do that, or among your cohorts here?
We have a proposal that is currently pending. We are reviewing the comments to that proposal, and so I think it's premature to say what our next step is. But I think reverting back to the 1995 rule is a better option than the 2023 rule that had been put in place that has never actually gone into effect.
Okay, I see my time is up. Mr. Chairman, I may submit my last question for the record and ask all the witnesses to respond.
Sure, I'm sure they will. I thank the gentlewoman